So my favourite account on Instagram right now is Past Vision AI. You've probably seen it. It's the one where they basically take celebrities and they basically reverse their entire life, showing little snapshots of key points. So they've done it with like Michael J. Fox, it was in Back to the Future. They recently done it with Ozzy Osbourne because he just died. And it's usually actors and actresses and influential people who are either really old, on the verge of dying, or they've died. I often find myself going, oh my God, look how young that person looks. Look how young Ozzy Osbourne is there. Oh my God, they're younger than me at that point. But the biggest one that I actually seen, I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. There was a point where it went back to when he was like 45 and I went, God, look how young he looks there. And I paused and I took a moment and I was like, he's older than me than I am right now. I'm 31 and he's like 45 at this point. And obviously the guy's jacked as hell, man. Like I think this is around the time he was doing like, he was the governor of California. He'd done Terminator 2 not long before that. So like all these things that this guy's done in his life weren't until another decade from where I'm at right now in my life. You can be missing really obvious things in your life right now that the version of you a few years down the line would give anything for. They'd give anything to have the skin that you have right now. They would give anything to have the energy that you have right now. They would give anything to have the recovery that you have right now. But because you're so blind to that and so focused on where you need to be, you don't realise all the good that's happening right now. And then the second point is I always say to clients, people are only doing two things. You're only growing or you're only dying. And it's just a fact. Maintenance doesn't exist. See when folks say things like I'm just maintaining right now, the only time that you can maintain is when something else is being pushed so hard that you're hanging on to it. So if I'm pushing my running tremendously hard, I'm maintaining my strength because I'm just trying to hang on to my strength. I'm going into the gym, I'm focusing on RPE, I'm not too arsed about the weights that I'm shifting, it's more about stimulus. That's what maintenance is. So maintenance only happens when something else in the same dimension is being pushed tremendously hard. That's the only time it exists. So the thing I want you to also remember to add on to this point, because it will make sense, is that you need to break your life into a few different parts, right? So you've got career, lifestyle and relationships, family, all these different parts, right? Performance, health. A lot of people confuse time spent doing something with effective time doing something. So what I mean by this is, let's say for example, you've got someone that's done hella well in their career, they're financially successful, really secure, they've got the dream job they've always wanted, but when they look in the mirror, they see themselves and they're like, I fucking hate my body. I'm really unhappy with how I've let things go right now. I'm really unhappy with the way I've let my life happen here. My headspace isn't good, right? Just because they're doing well in their career and they're doing well financially doesn't mean that they've cracked it with their health and fitness. But seeing that timeline as well, you might have still been going to the gym. You might have still been what you think turning up, right? But the reality is you haven't. You've just been ticking boxes. So what you need to remember is you might have a part of you right now that's like, God, I should be so much further ahead right now. And you might be very hyper-focused on other people that you maybe went to school with, that you grew up with, and you're like, God, they're crushing it right now. You need to differentiate the difference between time spent doing a task and time spent actually turning up and putting in effective work. I look at my health and fitness journey as an example of this right now. I look at my journey of being an entrepreneur. I look at my journey of being a coach, right? And although I've been doing something for a certain period of time, I've been coaching for 8.5 years now, which is bananas, right? See, the first 2 years, I was fucking about. I was messing about. And then see the first few years after that, it was the same. I'd probably say that I really started leaning in 2019, 2 to 3 years into actually being a coach. Same in my health and fitness journey. I've been training and going to the gym since I've been a wee guy. I've been done karate when I was younger, football, started going to the gym when I was like 15, 16, I'm 31 now. Technically speaking, I've been training for like well over a decade now, right? But actually, how long have I been proper turning up and putting in the work? It's probably been the last 6 or 7 years. So a lot of people often say things like, I should be further ahead, I should be here. Earn the right to say it, man. Like, this stuff takes time. And you need to be putting in the work and effort, and it needs to be in the forefront of your mind. Me and Ellie often joke about when we go for a massage, a sports massage, like, what were you thinking about most? And we'll maybe say things, I'll be like, oh, I'm thinking about Ready for Anything, I'm thinking about my podcast, I'm thinking about that event that I have coming up. The thing that you think about most is what you want most in your life. That might be your children, that might be your business, that might be something that you have going on. And it might not even be a thing, it might just be problems. It might just be stress and anxiety for where your headspace is at. Ultimately, guys, what you need to understand is that wherever you put your attention is wherever energy will go. So if you're putting energy and attention into things that aren't actually driving you forward, that aren't actually productive, that are actually holding you back and limiting you. Conversations, people, relationships, a job that you're unhappy in. That's the thing that you need to change. And people are like, I just need a plan. I just need a goal. And it's so much deeper than that, man. So that feeling of always feeling like you should be further ahead and you should have done this and should have done that is actually part of life. And something that I often remind myself of is that I wouldn't be in the position that I am now. I wouldn't have the awareness that I have now. I wouldn't have the life and the business and the opportunities that I have now if it wasn't for everything that I've done, if it wasn't for spending my early 20s pissing my life up against the wall, drinking every single weekend, tolerating a job and a career that I didn't actually like, letting my standards slip when it came to my health and fitness, accepting things that I knew deep down just wasn't good enough for me. That's what I ultimately needed to change to get to that point. But sometimes the pain of changing needs to outweigh the pain of staying the same to get to the point where you actually start becoming someone that's grown and not someone that's in this mindset where they're just telling themselves that they're maintaining. Because that maintaining mindset is what's killing so many people. And in the byproduct of that, the symptom that you experience as a result of having that mindset is you start looking around at every other person thinking, I should be further ahead, I should have done this, I should have done that, I'm so behind right now, what's the point, I'm getting too old, I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 40s, I can't start a business now, I can't just start setting goals like that, I'd never be able to do that. And you're just a victim of your circumstances, guys, and understand that you can snap your fingers and change that right now. And you can be whoever the fuck you want to be, man. You just have to put your mind to it. You actually have to start aligning yourself as that person, behaving like that person, thinking like that person, and I'm telling you, it'll come. And a lot of people are like, they don't like, I follow a lot of YouTubers and stuff, and there's one YouTuber I really love, he's called Cal Frazee, right? It's funny. And he was doing a lot of content on YouTube, and recently over the last year, he's just pivoted his entire channel to just food vlogging. And he's now becoming a really recognised food vlogger. He gets invited to things, but he just took the bold move one day to be like, do you know what? I really enjoy doing food content. And he just woke up one day and decided that he was going to position himself as that guy. And do you know what? He's like one of my go-to guys now if I want to watch some mindless content around food, because he's positioned himself as that guy. It's the same with like your business. It's the same with like your goals. It's the same with your career. It's the same with the things that the life that you want. Everything that you're experiencing right now in your life, your reality, is because you engineered it. You might be in a point right now where you're unsatisfied. You might be in a point right now where things are okay. You might be at a point right now where you have surpassed all of the dreams that you thought you could have ever imagined, but there's still some big void somewhere, hence why you feel like you should be further ahead and you're watching this video right now. All you need to do is think up what it is you want to do, what you want to achieve, put the energy into it and change it. That's it. And I know the feeling. Like the other week I was sat going like, I'm not feeling creative right now. I'm not feeling good right now. I don't really know the direction of our marketing. I feel like I don't even 100% know who we are helping. And I was like, we'll go and do something about it, Kristian. So I went back to the drawing board. I put a lot of effort and energy into who that was, how we're evolving as a program, how we're evolving as coaches, who we want to help, what that is. Guess what? I'm inspired now. I'm creative. Hence why I'm fired up to come and make content like this right now, because I'm clear on what it is. If you want anything in life, you need to put the energy and effort into it, and that becomes your reality. It's as simple as that. So I hope you took a lot away from this, guys. I noticed that I've been doing a lot of very highly edited stuff, and this is very raw, but I just wanted to whip the camera out, spout some wisdom, and get some people fired up. Anyway, guys, subscribe to the channel. See you later. Goodbye.